ask me what kind of methods I use to train dogs. And I use a whole load of different techniques, but it's under one behavioral philosophy, which is positive reinforcement. And positive reinforcement basically means if you see a behavior you like in your dog, reward it. If you reward that behavior, there's more of a chance of that behavior being repeated. Also, when you train your dog in a positive way, you really build up a great connection and a great relationship with your dog. So you're really teaching your dog to cooperate with you rather than teaching your dog to behave through domination. That's the major difference between the very old style, outdated, traditional dominance theory and the modern behavioral science positive reinforcement principle. At the end of the day, this method is about forming a good bond with your dog and helping your dog to learn. When a dog comes into your domestic home, it doesn't come with the knowledge of how to behave in a socially acceptable manner, and you have to be the one to teach it. If you don't, then the dog is going to indulge in all kinds of behaviors that's going to drive you nuts. But when you teach a dog using positive reinforcement, you really teach a dog how to cope with all the pressures that domestic life put on it. And you have a well-mannered and well-behaved dog that listens to you because it wants to, not because it fears what's going to happen to it if it doesn't. And that's the major difference. Sometimes people say that you can only teach dogs obedience training using positive reinforcement, and actually the red zone dogs, the really aggressive dogs, have to be treated harshly in order to get them to behave. And that could not be further from the truth. In fact, positive reinforcement techniques work better, are longer lasting, and are much safer with dogs that have aggression issues. In my book, dogs that don't learn well when there's a human dominance, animal submission methodology, it's much, much better, and you have a much better bond and relationship with your dog if you teach your dog how to cope with everyday life in a positive way rather than a negative way. I have a great relationship with Sadie here. She listens to me all the time because she wants to, because I make her feel good. Now, if I trained her by yanking her and jerking on her collar, shouting at her, holding her down, hitting her, poking her, she might still do things for me, but she would do it grudgingly. She would do it because she'd be frightened what would happen to her if she didn't. The fact is, I've never trained my dog that way, and I've never trained any other dog that way. It does not make for happy dogs. When you use positive reinforcement, you've got a happy dog that wants to be with you and is going to behave because you've taught it how to behave positively. Join me on eHow Pets as I take you through how to train your dog positively.